the rest has been on 42 and stuff. So I do find it all pretty interesting. Like now she gets muscle strain when she's carrying too much shit. And I did say, I'm like, you know, when you're carrying like a full backpack of stuff, it should count as fucking exercise. Like you should be getting buff from this shit. I also like just wandering around with a bar of soap because I have OCD hand washing myself. So it's always good to like find a bar of soap because I think I'd probably do that in Apocalypse if I opted into an Apocalypse situation. You know, I don't like taking a lot of the whatever else stuff. Also, thank you for the follow, Strike. Yeah, what else? It's the Harvest Seas 100 player challenge. Yeah, it is. It is exactly that. So were you the one that was asking the other month about like how to get into those? Because he has it on his videos. He actually says it in his videos, how to get into it and stuff. And he's got like a whole thing in Discord. I don't know if that was you or if somebody else was asking about it, but I kind of feel like maybe we had that conversation. It's fine if you didn't. But yeah, I saw some of his videos. That is what sparked my interest in it. And then I had Keelon and Beza in Discord in my community that were kind of like, you know, explaining some of the stuff. I was very disillusioned with 7 Days to Die at that specific time. And I was very unhappy with how 7 Days to Die was progressing. And the thing I specifically didn't like about Zomboid itself was the fact of this perspective where I'm so far removed from the zombies that, you know, if I'm fighting a zombie, to me, it didn't feel scary because when you play 7 Days to Die, the zombies are literally in your face. You can turn around and bam, there's a zombie in your face kind of thing. And it's confronting, you know, it's bracingly scary kind of stuff. And I didn't feel like Zomboid was scary in the same way. But then I've been spooked so many fucking times in this game. I'm like, technically, it's genuinely scary. It's scary in a different way because you don't want to die. The other thing I had an issue with was the fact that obviously you make a character, you spend time getting the skills, and because like learning the game is such a steep thing, thank you for follow again, Strike. You know, when you die, you lose your skills, unless obviously you add mods to try to keep them and shit. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I kind of had this moment where I'm like, you know, I can separate the situation where she dies and I come back in, but I'm not myself. I don't have the skills. I kind of see it as when I die, I somehow kind of embody another survivor that has existed out here and is somewhere. Like sometimes they're nearby in town, but I haven't encountered them kind of thing. And now I'm moving through the world as them kind of thing. Although it's a little bit weird because I do beeline straight for this house, kill this zombie, wear their clothes and live in their house. So it is a little bit weird, but like, I try not to think about that. I try not to think about that much, you know. Also, thank you for the follow, Mike. Yeah, what else was in there? I missed something else. So never like sticking to the meta playstyle of Project Zomboid. I like keeping each character unique and unique playstyle. Yeah, I like just having them be different because it allows me to experience all the different types of characters. Like in most games, if I had a type of character, I would continue to load in as that type of character to the end of days and stuff. But in this case, you know, I like the fact, I may have to go put some of this shit in the car. Yeah. I like the fact that because I experienced different ones, like as I said, like I had one I've enjoyed ones that have got high thirst. I've accidentally died to high thirst. I've had a lot of natural deaths where I don't actually die to zombies. I had one that did foraging and then I ate mushrooms and I died to that. And, you know, I've fallen off a balcony and died that way when she was weak. I've had to learn different ways of playing because, you know, when she's too weak to fight off a zombie, I actively have to like use something else. Like in this case, I used cars and that's how I learned how to weaponize the cars. I relied on the bats really, really frequently in the beginning, but then the bats break. So then I ended up trying to learn how to fight them barehanded with pushing and stomping. But I also kind of feel like, you know, when you're stomping a zombie and stuff, like the bones should possibly damage your feet or your shoes. And maybe that's what they've added in and stuff. Because like now you can wreck your shoes super fucking easy. Just doing like just about nothing and stuff. So yeah, I find it all like really interesting. You can tell like I sound very passionate about it because I have become passionate about it. But there was a lot of things that I didn't like I also did not specifically like the inventory style and stuff, but that's more of like an adaptation issue and stuff. I didn't understand what none of these were. Like some of them, they don't really tell you kind of what's going on. Like I had one girl, she got motion sickness every time she drived, she'd almost die. And I'd be like, why is she dying? She hasn't been touched. And then we had the issue where like, for a while, my girl just kept waking up in the middle of the night, and I couldn't figure out why she was waking up so agitated and stressed, and we worked out it was an update to the armor makes her stressed, so sleeping in her armor and stuff will wake her up, but I also won't make her sleep without her armor because I won't remember to put it back on. So, yeah. It's kind of like a little bit of a balance with that kind of thing. I also found that every time I touch hair dye in this game, she dies, so I leave that shit alone. Hey, Dustfloat. Welcome in, what are you up to? Also, welcome in, Renzo. So dude, I completely forgot about the random trait button. I love it for that, honestly. It is... I think when I started, I didn't know what to pick. And I'm like, I'm just going to hit random because I saw random was there. And I'm like, shit, we're going to find out, you know? And some of them I won't play again. Like, I won't play deaf again because I die a lot with deaf, like, immediately. I do like hard of hearing. I do find that very interesting. The only problem with hard of hearing is, as I said, I had 7 cars in this particular game, and I didn't know that you had to take the key out, and I had, like, at the time, I had, like, no spoilers and shit, like, on my screen, and so nobody was willing to tell me that my cars were idling out, because I'm like, why do they keep sounding like they're stalling in my driveway? Like, I'm not even touching them and stuff. And yeah, no, they idled out 7 cars worth of fuel like 2 or 3 times over. And I'm like, cool, I don't have fuel, you know? So that kind of sucked. That was my own learning curve there, you know? I always like to roleplay as a character in Zomboid, but usually like to play as some drunk hobo. That's hilarious, a waiver. Have so many hours to still get freaked out fighting zombies with melee. That's fair. Like, as I said, I've only got like about 300-ish hours, so even though I've had it from like 2 Christmases ago, I haven't played much. I only get to play it like once a week for like 4-ish hours kind of thing, so I definitely don't have like a lot of like experience in this game, but I'm okay with that. It's like gun playthroughs, hoarding ammo, weapons for big horde clearing. I haven't really dabbled with the weapons, honestly. Like, I've dabbled a tiny bit over Christmas when multiplayer came out. My partner and I jumped on and had a crack, and he wanted to play with weapons. Like, the first instinct in most games is get weapons. And I practiced not using weapons at the time, but I still did, like, very briefly use them. I have cleared this place before, so I know it's empty. I just wanted to try to get the resources that are in here, because there's food and stuff, so I'm trying to get that. So if you carry heavy backpack, you get a buff. Yeah, so if you've got really heavy overloaded, you start taking, like, body damage now. It's only in, like, the last update I've noticed it, though, you know. As if viewers can join this application process, there is for that. Yeah, I thought so. What else? As I had many horror movie moments throughout the playthroughs. See, I don't do any of, like, the role-playing or anything like that for Zomboid. But, like, probably, like, the bar of soap is probably the most extent that you get with me. But at the same time, like, a lot of the time, I'll leave it at home to, like, be able to, like, get around and stuff. Like, I'm not too worried with it, you know? I'm mostly just, like, if I was in a zombie apocalypse thing, like I was saying earlier, I probably wouldn't want to opt in to one of those. I'd probably opt out if a zombie apocalypse happened. Like, that's just not something I think I'd want to be a part of. But in my case, I kind of feel like, you know, oh, hold on, we got fruit cocktail and hard candies. I sort of feel like I kind of like do the same thing anyway. I kind of like semi-avoid the zombies. I kind of, you know, carefully like bring them out to fight. I try to use like the advantages that I have, like for instance, the firecrackers earlier helped bring like a lot of zombies to a specific area, and then I went and I got a car while they were busy like going to that spot, and then, you know, promptly destroyed that car on all the zombies and stuff, which by the way, we're up to 502 zombies, so I guess we killed like 200 odd earlier, so yeah. But yeah, there was plenty of times where I didn't even kill like 15 zombies and then I'd die and I'd have been alive for like 20 odd days or something like that. Like I'm getting to a point where I'll now go and actually fight the zombies and shit. And, you know, I know that she's normally like drowsy and she's hopeless and overloaded and all the stuff. Like I've often said, I'm like, you know, is it not normal to be like a little bit tired, a little bit hungry, a little bit thirsty, a little bit upset kind of thing? I feel like that's just normal. So I know that they all kind of affect my character and how she can fight and what she does and stuff. Might eat that. But at the same time, I kind of see it as like, it's a semi-normal existence. Like it's not normal to walk around in absolute perfect health and perfect like, you know, happiness and fucking hunger and stuff like that. Like, it would be so funny if they brought in like a hangry option kind of thing. Like not just are you like weaker when hungry, but you're more likely to like accidentally destroy the thing that you're trying to craft if you're hungry. Because that would be kind of funny. Like obviously that shit wouldn't be fun, but I'm just saying like it would be kind of funny. Because yeah, it's like anybody that's ever tried to do something when they're like waiting for lunch or something and then, you know, it's not going as fast or as easy or something as you want. And it's like, yeah, it's more likely to like accidentally break it or something, you know? Yeah, what else? So I had no, I saw that. As in long distance future, they add recruitable NPCs. I really hope they borrow the mechanics from CDDA. If you have followers and your character dies, you get to pick one of your followers and your main character keep playing. I haven't heard of that. I did hear something about they wanted like possibly NPCs. It's one of those things in games where I really hope that that's not something that they add. I wouldn't mind them having something like, you know how you sometimes go through an area and it looks like you only just barely missed coming across a survivor that's being eaten or is screaming nearby getting eaten or something like that. Like, I wouldn't mind if there was a chance to actually see a survivor right before they die or something like that. Like, they're bitten, they're gonna absolutely die, right? But you have a chance to, like, shoot the zombie that's mauling them or something, you know? Like, that would be kind of cool. Imagine that. You walk around a corner and you see somebody else live that's trying to defend off like a zombie. Like, that would make the game feel more, like, alive for, you know, solo players. But I also find that, like, they also already made this place feel pretty alive. Like, some places look like they're pre-looted. They feel like they're pre-emptied. You know, then there's, like, other spots where, you know, you happen to come across, like, a scenario in a house. Like, there's that survivor house around the corner I want to get into, but I want the zombies to beat down the barricades to get out themselves, because I don't really want to super fight them if I don't have to. But there are some stories in these houses. Like, I found a house, I'm not too sure if, I don't think I have it unlocked yet, but I think it was up here. I'm trying to remember where it was. It was not far from me in West Point. It was like up here somewhere, around about here, right? And there was like this house that had like a bunch of zombies in it, and there was this like one like zombie down in the basement, and they had like a shit ton of an armory and some like barricades and shit set up down there. Like, not like the barricades you get on like the doors and the windows. I mean like proper like sandbag barricades and shit. It was interesting. And I'm like, okay, it looks like there's this one survivor who's basically like gone and locked themselves downstairs, and they've got like a shit ton of ammo and stuff. And yeah, I like seeing like little stories like that. Like, sometimes you see them and they've got like little party hats and you're like, oh yeah, they're having a celebration. And like I said, like there's also, I don't know if it's glitching and stuff, but there is that police station like up the top of town where I think it keeps on respawning like the exact same group, and I don't know why. Like, it's not really much of an issue. I just have to kill them over and over again. There's nothing I want up in that building. I've looted it over a few times. And the other thing I could do is, because it's still early morning, I wanted to have a look in that place. And I would say that apart from like 2 or 3 zombies out on this main road, there's one there. This place should be all done. I want to look in, I think it's Saucy and this place I think I've been in before. And I'll just dump off everything into the boot that I can. There's like almost no zombies because I've like mowed down like the most of them as I can. But nothing much. Nomming on some crisps right now. Oh yeah. I'm not up to too much. I'm basically almost at like the end of the night, so I just want to poke my nose in these places, see if there's zombies. And then, yeah, next week we have like a whole 5 days, because I normally only stream 4 days, so we'll have 5 days of 8-hour streams, and it'll be all Rim Connect. So, yeah, it's going to be insane. So, that, and I do have to like go out a couple of times like this weekend and stuff, so I'm not going to get a lot of sleep this weekend, unfortunately. So, yeah, but that's alright. I also chuck that in there as well because I don't really want to walk that in there. Now, I don't know if the zombies come down to me. There's no way of knowing until I get out. I can't see him from this corner, so I just want to poke my nose in Saucy because I haven't been in here before. Is this clothes or food? It's clothes. I mean, I could stock up on clean clothing. I did want to bring home some stuff in advance for winter, but winter's so far away now because obviously, like, we've gone back to the start. The only reason why I went in here was I was hoping to maybe find some food. I also probably should have turned the light on. I was hoping to find like sauces and syrups and shit that I could take home, because that way I'd have like longevity food. Because like that shit shouldn't theoretically go off. I don't have a reason to go into the bathrooms. This looks like maybe storage, perhaps. Yeah. What have we got in here? We got an empty bucket. I could do with another bucket because I did fill up a rainwater collector inside the house because the water is still on. So we've got like 400 odd liters of water, but I would like a spare bucket because realistically I don't need a water collector thing outside if I've got buckets I can put outside. Like I said, I wasn't intentioning to like live in this town, but I would like to be able to travel a bit easier. I also don't super want like the other stuff in there. You know, I haven't actually found zombies inside the building much, in any of the buildings much lately, which has been a bit unusual. Hold on, was it? Oh, there was a lemon bar that was rotted. That's fine. Let's grab, let me open up to that so I can start bringing home a shit ton of sauce and stuff that hopefully will last a little bit longer. I can take home the bacon and stuff. It's just, it's stale. I don't really see much point in that, you know. At some point I wouldn't mind like getting fancy and trying to like make recipes and all sorts of shit. I'm sure that I could probably unlock that stuff. Like I did move on from making her eat like pure sugar, like bags of raw sugar. And although I still do find the amusement in like, I don't know, occasionally just chugging like a bottle of oil or something like that, because I don't know, I find that funny. I hear something and I don't know if, I don't think there's anything here, but there could be like a zombie up the front of the building that's maybe making some noise. I just don't see. There's like potatoes, uncooked. I saw a stack of pancakes. There's maple syrup, I'll take that, and the evaporated milk. I don't really plan to be using those, but I mean, if I've got it then. There is a room over there. So I'll just shut this because any additional doors that zombies have to travel through is basically a win to me. So, like, mind you, I have also encountered like the clown car kind of room before. You know, where you get like, you open up a door and there's like 20 zombies inside of it. It's horrifying. But, you know, that shit happens, I guess. Alright, I'm not going to check the bathrooms. I'm otherwise good for food and water. This place was like a bust, but I'll have to... Actually, before I go outside, I'll just mark up a couple places because I think I have a pen on me. So, we have been to... Where's the X? Cross gone. I don't look for this stuff very often. There we go. Okay, I've been into this place and... I've basically done the school, done the grocery store. I sort of killed a shit ton of zombies. I didn't look at all their gear. That was the only thing. I did drive off earlier. And I did something else over here. We killed like a shit ton of zombies and they keep spawning back up here. I did bring home like another car, so that was nice. And there could be, that zombie could potentially wander down here, but they don't seem to have noticed, so it's fine. Yeah, I've killed off like a lot of the zombies in this town, which is kind of nice. It's just that I have noticed that they do respawn after a bit, which is kind of interesting. And I've now got that extra green car, and with the ability to hotwire, I do want to spend some time running around town hotwiring cars, but the only problem is to do that, I do have to obviously like make sure most of the zombies in town are dead. There is that grocery store I haven't been in. There's a group here that's dangerous, and I'm up here, so whoop, that was a bit of the gutter on that spot. So there's just around the corner does have zombies, and I have got some stuff outside. I'm gonna have to get like some wood or something soon because I have no fucking storage crates. I haven't found any. I was hoping I'd find some in the school, but I did not get lucky with that. So yeah, I've got a giant pile of stuff inside this building and I have nowhere to put it. And generally speaking, I do spend time like organizing stuff. It's just that I don't have anywhere to put it at this time. I don't think you can take anything else. We'll take this inside and hopefully those zombies won't walk down here. So yeah, we replaced the white car with the green car. So it's basically pristine. That thing's basically cactus. I could probably reverse it into something. I could probably take the fuel out of it. I could probably part it. I could put it over there and part it. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is the problem I've got. I've got to get wood and I'm not very close to wood. Like there's probably trees nearby. I could probably go cut down. Maybe there are some nearby. I could probably cut down like some of the trees along here. But I'll have to... I also have an empty bucket too I should go fill up. But yeah, I've got a rainwater tank full of water. So even if the water goes off, we'll be good. And the power's still on. I got lucky last time I played. We had power for like 30 odd days. Most of the time I get it for 24 to 48 hours. So most of the time I play Zomboid. I haven't played with electricity or water. So it's been wild to have such facilities, you know, to which I can actually like fill up a 400 litre thing. I could put a second one there and fill that up and then I wouldn't need a fucking rainwater tank outside. I feel like that would almost be like almost cheating, but I'd probably put a rainwater tank outside just to wash myself. That way I don't use up like the clean water. I also have the 2 water things in here. I think I may have brought home a third. I don't know. But I also have got food, which I realize I probably dropped, yeah, an amount of food on the floor. I'll just quickly grab up the, hold on, chuck it into categories, cooking. I don't want so much cooking as I want food. Because some of this is, like, cheese is fresh. The chocolate and stuff on the ground, that should be fine. Put that, I have to put that in the fridge, but that's fine. I feel like this is going to attract rodents if I just leave this on the floor. That's my big, like, concern with this. I need you to grab the mayonnaise. Oil should be fine. The cheese has got to come with us. I don't know what that is, but that's okay. We'll take that. Sugar and everything else. Yogurt's fresh. I have got some stuff that I want to dabble with here. Like, I found like a sewing store that had some food. I've found, I found lots and lots of food to cook with and shit. Like, chuck all the shit in there. I don't know if I put anything in the fridge for her to be able to eat. I've got margarine and an empty carton. I should have... I don't want to put like ice cream or anything like that in there. I thought I might have had a... I don't even know, like another cake or something. I've got fresh yogurt. I could put one of the frozen ones. I'll put the frozen yogurt in there at the moment. I know that we've got fresh, but I'd rather it like snap freeze and like have that for later. And also we've got cheese. I don't think I have to put marmalade in here, but I've got some food stuff. I'm just going to chuck it in there. It's fine. I've got 2 freezers, so it's not like I'm like, you know, strapped for storage stuff. And I'll chuck the rest of this crap on the ground. One of the things I think I'm probably going to prioritize next is probably make storage boxes. Like, I don't mind having these shelves here, but I don't actually want to use them. I want to use them as shielding from the windows themselves. So I've got the freedom to be doing stuff out here. you know. I also have a metric fuck ton of pillows, which supposedly I can put those in the cars, and that's apparently not an issue, which I might do. Most of the time, I'll normally, more often than not, sleep in a passenger seat, and I feel like as long as it doesn't bar me from being able to get out of the car, I'm fine with it. Let's chuck the bucket over here. Let's drop you. There we go. Alright, I got a little bit more stuff in the car to bring inside. I don't know how much of it is food, but we'll see, you know. Found any factories? Full of crates and storage. I've found, like, storage places, like, I don't know if I found any on this particular run yet, because I haven't gone really outside of, Riverside. But, all this shit. I think there might have been... No, that was a farm. I was just trying to think. I'm like, I know that they're black on the map. Also, welcome in, Jod. That was a farm. Although it could have had a storage crate. I didn't have space in my car. And then there was a couple of sheds over there. I've looked in all the sheds in town. None of them have any. I can't get into that one. I haven't gone into any of these yet. They may have them. I just haven't gone in there. And I've found mostly only shelving so far, which is not really an issue. But I was hoping, like, in the school or in the grocery store to find one. Like, I haven't really gone in these yet. They may have them. But yeah, I haven't gone too far outside of here yet. I've been mostly, like, stripping down nearby town before I look at traveling. I only live in West Point, and I know where to find crates easily there. But I want to be able to explore this sort of area. I haven't really been over here much. So that would be awesome if I could. But, yeah, if I find them, I find them. If I don't, I'm going to have to make them. And I know I can make crates. I know they just don't have the same capacity as a found crate. I just thought I had one a lot closer nearby, but I just don't seem to. So, yeah. I also want to bring some of this stuff inside if I can. Like this stuff here I've got to bring inside as well. But, like if I go for a long drive to get crates, I want to either take the wagon or I want to take the white van. But this is becoming too much. I had it once that before the generator update happened, I had a whole heap of shit on the floor in one of my previous game worlds. And I lost like over half of it. And it was really difficult because I didn't know what I didn't have then. I literally, like, it didn't take like a half a quantity. It just took half the shit randomly off the ground. And I had miscellaneous stuff and then I suddenly didn't have miscellaneous stuff. So it was kind of complicated with that. But yeah, I'd take one of these two if I could and go and like get stuff. I might grab this shit off the ground so I can at least move it, you know. Carpentry is good enough. Built crates have the same capacity as found crates. I don't think I've got that good of a carpentry yet though. I've got like 3 and I haven't made a crate. I made like one I think at Christmas and it was a lower capacity. That was on my like, that was in the multiplayer game I played over Christmas. Whereas I generally don't mind finding them. I haven't ventured around here too much yet to know what I do and don't have. I want to grab that if I can. And I don't think I'll be able to carry anything else. I've got some empty shit. I'll probably end up storing them in one of these buildings and stuff just to put it away. Like, I'll grab this shit later. And yeah, as far as I can tell, like, I should also still have food now that I think about it. I've got a heap of food in there too, which I've probably got to cook up as well. I should go look at that at some point. But I've got a lot of nails. I've got a lot of tarps. I've got like lots of pillows and shit for comfort. I've got some clothing, which I would like to mostly rip up anything that's kind of like, you know, shit quality sort of thing. And I've got like bags and all sorts of shit to store and like keys I want to like stow away. There's still a shit ton of VHSs in here, which I do want to kind of, as best I can, pick up as much as I can and then like remove the rest, like the duplicates out of here if I could. It is also kind of still early, but it's early enough late that she could probably get a bit of sleep. I was gonna like wash her up. I might wash her bat. I didn't realize, I don't think I used it, but I might have when I stomped a zombie. Hold on, I've got blood on my leg too. So Yeah, maybe when I stomped the zombie, it counted as it. I was just thinking, I'm like, I don't think I've hit anything with the metal bat yet. I wanted to see if it made a different noise. I assume it does, but I'll find that out when I hit something, I guess. It would be good if she could get a really good long sleep. And yeah, I think, like I said, I'll try to cut down. I know she woke up on her own. I guess we'll read shit. I want to get a good amount of wood to make some crates. I do want to go possibly back over to where that like clothing building was at some point and like loot some clothing, but there's no rush for that. I would like to find like another generator. I'd like to hotwire many of the cars in town, but I'd like to kill all the zombies as much as I can and then try to go around and hotwire whatever cars I can see around the place so I have more options of like cars I can drive later. And I've killed most of the zombies along here. My only problem is I haven't looted many of them. They may have watches or gear I want to look at. Somebody had a backpack. I think down here had a backpack. And there's also that survivor house that's like here somewhere. I'd like to get into that just to see what's in there. So I'll probably do that like next time. The only problem is next time's not going to be for like 2 weeks because I've got the Rim Connect special event next